Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guten Nacht, bienvenue, bienvenido, ohayo gozaimasu, shalom, namaste, aloha. Welcome everyone here in San Francisco. Welcome everyone on Facebook Live. Welcome everyone on tv.drsha.com or live stream or wherever else we may be. I am Master Shunya. I am one of the lead teachers here at Master Sha Tao Healing Center in San Francisco. And I am very, very excited tonight because this weekend we are hosting Heart to Heart, Soul to Soul, Key to Lasting Client Relationships with Master Jimena Gavino. The reason that I'm so excited about this, there's actually a couple reasons. One is I want to grow our center even more and have even more heart-to-heart, soul-to-soul, lasting relationships with more and more clients throughout California and throughout the world. I also want for all of the practitioners that we've trained, the Tao Hands practitioners, the Tao Calligraphy practitioners, the Kuan Yin lineage holders, the Tao Song, Tao Dance, Tao Music practitioners. I want each and every one of you to be as flourishing as possible, to be serving as many people as possible and sharing as much love as possible. And I believe that's what we're going to be learning about this weekend, is how to do that. Because the key to having those lasting relationships with clients is joining heart to heart, soul to soul. And the key for that is always love. So really, I think we're all going to be learning how to more effectively share our love with the world in a way that serves us well and serves the world well. So I'm excited to learn more. I think you might be excited to learn more. I bet there are people out there on the webcast who are excited to learn more as well. So I'm delighted that Master Jimena is here with us. For those of you who have not met Master Jimena Gavino, she is a powerful, very intelligent, very heart-centered, caring person who comes with a lot of experience in developing client relationships. Her background is in marketing, and she was a executive for a very household name brand company. I bet if I mentioned the brand, you could go to your bathroom and find 3 or 4 products that they make. And she served different markets around the world, developing relationships with people who use those products. She is one of Master Sha's most senior teachers. She's been with Master Sha many, many years and has learned from him and was actually his director of marketing, director of events, and about 6 or 7 titles, other titles, working under Master Sha, learning directly from him the spiritual wisdom of applying what Master Sha teaches to the business world. So we're all going to benefit from that this weekend, and I ask you to please join me in welcoming Master Jimena Gavino. Really, really love you, Master Jimena. Really, really love you, Master Jimena. Really, really love you, Master Jimena. Really love you, Master Jimena. Really love you, Master Jimena.
Really, really love you.
Thank you.
Love you. I love all of you on the live stream. And the reason I'm holding this is because we are also live on Facebook. And I want to be able to interact with you. I want to be able to connect with you, those of you that are on Facebook. So let me tell you what would be most helpful for me to be able to help you, because that's at the end of the day, this is what this is about, is for me to be able to help you be successful. So on Facebook, on my page, on the Master Sha Dao Healing Center, San Francisco, so make sure it's Master Sha Dao Center, San Francisco, post on the page, what are the challenges that you are facing as you connect with others, or you try to connect with others about the work that you are doing as a Dao hands practitioner, a Dao song and dance healer, Dao calligraphy practitioner. You may also be a Kuan Yin lineage holder. That is such a special group of people. So whatever, you may be Reiki. You may be massage therapist. You may also be, what is that called? The pranic healing, and also healing touch and therapeutic touch. So whatever modality it is, tell me what it is. I spoke with someone today who's counselor. Yeah. So everybody has professions. Yesterday, I spoke with somebody who's an attorney. So what I know that everybody has in common, one, everybody suffers. There isn't a person walking down the street who is not in pain. Because we are here in this lifetime to learn how to be the best human beings that we can be. How to have the greatest love, how to have the greatest forgiveness, compassion, light, harmony, gratitude, how to be the most generous, how to serve others, how to put others' needs first. So there's so many qualities that we could talk about. Those are some of the qualities of the Buddhas and the saints. But that's our goal, right? In life, is to really align with heaven, to be able to serve at such a high level that we can really create transformation in someone's life. So when I talked with all of them, this is what is common. The attorney said to me, I want to bring a different perspective to family law. I want family law to be kinder, to be more loving, less acrimonious, because who gets hurt? The children. I've spoken with a counselor. She said people get stuck. They have different techniques that their clients use, but people can get stuck. They can get stuck in a thought pattern. They can get stuck in an emotional pattern. And then it becomes very challenging, for them to keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. And some people give up. Everybody, the people that I have met in Master Sha's organization, even just came back from 5 weeks. I just came back from 5 weeks being in Canada. First week I was with the team in Vancouver, and then I went to Toronto. So I was in Toronto for 4.5 weeks with Master Sha. Just came back on Wednesday night. So many people. I met so many people from all over the world. All over. I had a suggestion for the team. I said, we really need to have not just their names and their numbers, their little code, their customer number or something. We need to have where they're from. Because I swear I met people from at least 10 or 15 different countries, It was amazing. And everyone had a more and more unique and compelling story. But everyone joined Master Sha because they have a desire, a deep desire to help people stop suffering. Some people said, I just started because I wanted to help my husband, my son, my mother. But then that awakened them to this bigger calling of other ways that they can serve. Some people aren't sure yet how they can serve, but they know they have a calling in their heart to help others around the world to stop suffering. So what happens for us, those of us that have been studying with Master Sha for a while, is that we are going through what's called transformation. And so we forget, because we're deep in this process of transformation, of opening our hearts, we forget actually that we have made quite a bit of progress, and that we are in fact ready to be connecting with people. The right people for us will come. So what I want to find out from you is, again, on Facebook and on live stream, write in the chat, what are the challenges that you're facing? So Sarah, I think it's Bronner, right? Sarah Bronner. She's in Ottawa. She posted on the video she posted a comment on the video that I posted recently. So I'm going to start with her after I do a little bit of a teaching, and give you time to post your comments, and share what your experiences have been, what some of your challenges have been. And I want to connect with you, help you to understand how you can transform whatever you're experiencing into a heart-to-heart, soul-to-soul connection. You know why? Already, people are thinking about 2019. They're already thinking, what is it that they're going to do differently next year? They're thinking about how they can transform something in their lives. They're thinking about, what will it take? What do I need to try? What haven't I tried that might work for me this time? So we need to be ready, because they're ready. They're ready. You cannot wait until January 1 to sit down and go, okay, what am I going to do in 2019? You need to be ready now. You need to have your heart open, and you need to think about, how do you prepare to connect with others, heart to heart, soul to soul? So that when they talk with you, your heart touches their heart. When that happens, magic happens. Amazing things happen. Extraordinary things happen. Miraculous things happen. Spontaneous things happen. Whatever the word is that you want to use, that's what's happening. It doesn't matter what word you use. What happens on a spiritual level is easy to explain. The love in your heart opens their heart. When their heart opens, it does not matter. It does not matter if you're a doctor offering somebody penicillin. It does not matter if you are a psychologist offering somebody a new therapy. It does not matter if you're like my client, the attorney. What will happen is the other person's heart, your love will open their heart. And then whatever you offer will suddenly create great transformation. As Tao hands practitioners, as Tao calligraphy practitioners, we have special treasures that we have received, and we can invoke those. And those can create amazing transformations for people. We make no promises, but I can share lots and lots of stories of transformation that occur almost on a daily basis. So let me share a few things. Already my phone is, people are already posting. So let's see. I want to teach a little bit, but just check here. What are people sharing? So that we can respond to them.
It's possible.
Oh. Sorry. That's Master Shunya's voice. Okay. So we'll give you time to post. This is a little bit far away, so I'm going to have to write really big. Really, really big. So tonight is about making a heart to heart, soul to soul connection. Okay? So what this ties in very nicely with Master, you might have it already here. Do you have one of the Shen Qi Jing here so I don't have to write it? Or that's okay, I just write it, we stay in flow. It shows up better? Okay. Yeah, because we're so far away. We have to make that, either get a okay. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, just go right there. You can move by yourself?
I'm just dragging it. Sorry, I need to drag you with it. Yeah, I'll have to,
Yeah, we can move it even closer.
we could.
Yeah, right there.
Inside.
Right there on the right, yeah? I think that'll be better, huh?
That's probably pretty good.
Okay, sure. Okay. So Master Sha teaches us that everyone and everything is made up of Shen, Qi, and Jing. So Shen is soul or spirit, mind, and heart and mind, yep. Qi is energy, and Jing is matter. In the book Tao Science, Master Sha and Dr. Rulin have presented very powerful theories that explain the presence of the soul. So what they say is that the soul is message. In quantum physics, this is information. That information is sent. Where does this information come from? It comes from heaven. It comes from your own, from the soul world, either from heaven or from your own soul, from your Akashic records. That information travels to the heart. The heart is the receiver of this information. How open is the heart determines how much of the message comes in. So I'm going to put some little hearts here because this is not in order. And we'll put the mind here. So when we receive a message, when we have a message, it has to be received somewhere, somehow, within us. And everything, by the way, it's not just human beings, everything is made up of Shen, Qi, and Jing. Everything has soul, everything has heart. Heart is the core of life. Everything has mind. Mind is consciousness. If we want to give someone the message of love, but their heart is closed, it's very difficult for the message to come in. But the beauty is, if our frequency and vibration is high enough, if our love is pure enough, if our love is unconditional enough, we can touch the heart of the other person and it will open. And in that moment, transformation begins. When I met Master Sha, I'm sitting looking at Master Marilyn. In 2001, we met Master Sha. She met Master Sha in September, the weekend after September 11. I met Master Sha a month later. I think it was the third weekend of October of 2001. At that time, Master Sha was not a channel. Master Sha was teaching us what he calls the 4 power techniques. They're based on ancient wisdom for healing. So we used body power, the use of hand and body positions. We used mind power, creative visualization. We used mantras. And we used soul power to connect. And Master Sha used to say something that I would always wondered, what does that mean? And he would say, fully open. Fully open. Right? Have you heard him? See heads shaking. What he was prompting us to do was to open our heart. Because if you do not open the heart, nothing can come in. As a Qigong master, the kind of transformation that he was facilitating for someone like me and for other clients, he would transmit high frequency qi. Why? Because when you're sick, your frequency and vibration is very, very low. And in fact, like me, you may not even have very much power in your foundation. So he would, as a really extraordinary Qigong master, he would go and just transmit qi into your foundation. But if you did not open to receive, that energy just scattered in all directions. So to make sure that you would receive it, he would say, fully open. And then he'd say, make a request. And I asked him one time, why do we have to ask them? And he said exactly what I just said to you. Because the moment they ask is the moment that the soul, heart, mind, and body open. And you only need one request. That's why even to this day, he says just make one request. You only need one request. I want to heal my back. Okay, that's it. You do not have to list anything else. Why? Because as soon as you open, the frequency, the vibration, the messages, the love, the forgiveness, the compassion, the light will go exactly where you need it. You just need one opening. So, how do we do this now? We do this because many of us who are students of Master Sha, we are in spiritual practices to develop our heart, to further open our heart, to help us to be more loving, more forgiving, more compassionate, to transform. You know what Master Sha says? Transform yo to wu, use wu to transform yo to become wu, right? Yo world, wu world, meaning transform with the physical existence world challenges to high level non-existence aspects of the world. When you do that, the heart opens in a very gentle and in a very soft way, and it opens quite widely. So many people just spent the last 5 days with Master Sha. There were over 1,400 people around the world who joined him via webcast or in person at the Aga Khan Museum in Toronto. People, I would say, I watched people sitting in the audience, brand new people who knew nobody, They flew there because someone had suggested that they see Master Sha because of his abilities. They literally did not know anyone. And by the second day, their hearts, you could see the questioning, am I here? Do I really belong here? Is this the right place for me to be? You could see that had faded, and now they walked and talked as if they were just part of everybody else, as if they were just part of this whole global community. The only thing that happened was Master Sha offered blessings, and their hearts opened. Now the messages could come in. And so what did they do? They aligned with everybody else. Meaning now they came to that same level of frequency. Their thoughts, their words, their actions began to be reflective of the teachings. So our task is to connect at this level. If the heart receives the message, it'll send it to the mind, and it will, when the mind is the processor, means it can put it, can put it into action. It's the actioner. Our mind can prevent us from making changes through our mindsets, our attitudes, our beliefs, our ego, and our attachments. We are attached to the past, and we don't even know it. We want things to go back to the way they were. But the way they were wasn't so good. Otherwise, we would be happy. But we weren't happy then, right? So the past doesn't hold the key to our happiness. Because in the past, we already were feeling pain. What we need to do is transform those mindsets, transform the beliefs, transform the attitudes, let go of the attachments, help our ego to let go. Help our ego to let go of that tendency to make everything personal. And then the heart can open. If the heart is very open, then the love that comes in will quickly help transform mindsets, attitudes, beliefs. And then it sends a message to the energy. Energy's actioner, right? I'm looking at, yeah. And then matter is manifester. So the key to transformation, I'll just go back to the counselor that I spoke with. If you want to make lasting change, we have to start up here at the level of the message. We cannot start here. This reflects the message. If we try to transform here, but we don't transform the message, we have a temporary shift, but ultimately, what happens? People relapse in their diets, their relationship issues, their maybe they have addictions, whatever the challenges are. It's short term. Lasting change has to happen here at the level of the message. So what does this have to do with you and clients? What do you think?
You better have the right message.
You better have the right message, huh? Okay, you're actually on the right track. You need the right message. What else? Your heart has to be open. Yeah?
You have to view your client with 10 das.
You have to view your client with 10 das. Why?
Love dissolves all blockages.
Love, I asked why, and Ed said because love melts all blockages. Because if you look at somebody, Master Shah, you focus on the outcome. You don't focus on the disease, right? So if you look at somebody as having an issue, they have an issue. And that issue is going to stay there as long as you look at them with the issue. But if you look at them as being healed, the issue will heal, right? Because what's happening? The message, you're sending a message of transformation. So the message that they receive begins to transform the message that they have inside of them. Do you all see that there was this experiment that they did at a school? They had 2 plants. This was like in a middle school. They had 2 plants. One plant got love. Every day the students had to go up and they tell the plant, "Oh, I love you." They were singing to it. The other plant, poor thing, they were saying very unpleasant things. After about 2 weeks, 2 exact plants, physically the plants looked very different, right? One was kind of browned and like leaning and not so strong. The other looked beautiful and vibrant. Yeah, it's a variation of the experiments that Dr. Emoto did, right, with the water, messages in water, right?
Yeah.
So he was very smart, very clever the way he did that, because he said human beings, adults are over 70% water, babies even higher, could be even 90%. So if you can change the molecular structure of water by changing the message, what could you do for human beings, right? If you change the message? Good. Okay, so people on Facebook, what did you say in response to why do we, I asked a question. Let's see. Okay, thank you, Suzanne. I got it. No sound. Shirley Fernassi says no sound. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Well, it must be working because Suzanne just put a big post here.
Sound is currently working.
Sound is working?
In live stream, there's a lot of comments.
On live stream?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me refresh. Oops, phone says upside down. Okay. Okay. Oops. Let's see. Just want the comments. Okay. So keep posting on what are some of the challenges that you face. So I want to come back to this structure. So Master Shunya said you have to make sure that you have the right message. Master Marilyn said you have to make sure that the heart is open. Your heart is open. Ed said we have to look at people with 10 das. Right? So what everyone is saying is we need to look at people with great love, right? We look at them through the eyes of love. We experience them in our heart with love in our hearts. We speak with love through the words of love, yeah? So why this structure that Master Sha has given us is so important is because it puts great emphasis on the message. How do we have the right message? How do we get the right message? is there, let me just ask you this, is there such a thing as the right message? Is it possible to have the right message for every person? Yes, Master Marilyn said. Yes, of course. Of course. Why?
Because you can make that soul-to-soul connection.
Oh, you know what? Here. Sorry, Master
Oh,
Marilyn.
sorry.
Yeah.
Because we can make that soul-to-soul connection and find out what is appropriate for each person.
Exactly. Exactly. So Master Marilyn, who of course wrote, co-wrote the Soul Communication book. She is the Tao Academy teacher, who is, oh gosh, it's making too much noise. Who is in charge of the Soul Communication program at Tao Academy. So she said, because you can make, how do you make a soul-to-soul connection with somebody? You use soul communication. So what soul communication allows us to do is quite beautiful, actually. So this is my version of heaven. So this is your potential client. Okay? You. Yeah. You are the conduit. You are, when you use soul communication, you are the channel, the conduit. This is soul communication. This is why I didn't want to draw another person, because the emphasis needs to be on soul communication. So you are the channel. You are facilitating soul communication. Soul communication allows heaven to speak to this person. When heaven speaks to this person, they feel heard. Truly heard. I've talked to lots of people, you know, since my over the last year and however many months it is that I've been healing. Actually, Master Sha healed me, so I can't even say I've been healing, but that my back has been healing. So I've talked to a lot of people about pain, and what I've heard is that most people do not share their pain because most people cannot hear pain. We can hear this amount of pain, but most of us, or some of us, carry this amount of pain, right? I remember recently I was in Vancouver. We were doing a workshop, and I think that one was called Listen with the Heart. And one of the students came up. She was part of the demo. She was the client. And I could see that she was in pain, but she was not sharing her pain because it was clear that the person who was the practitioner could not hear it. Many times we cannot hear it because it's poking. Their pain is poking into our pain. When we're in pain, we just want it to end. We just want the pain to end. And we go into that frantic, make it stop mode. And when anybody else comes around with more pain, you're like, don't talk to me, don't. So the beauty of soul communication is that you can be in whatever state of pain, non-pain, if you allow heaven to speak to the person, and if you allow heaven to hear the person, transformation will occur. Is this not what you experienced with Master Sha? Isn't this what you experienced with him? You feel heard. It's not that you just feel loved. You feel heard on a very deep level. He also then gives you the possibilities to transform that pain. How does he do that? He calls someone and says, you know, who has a challenging condition, he says. Who has maybe, you know, back pain, but what does he say now? Chronic. Chronic means it's been happening for more than a year and cannot be something that happened last week. You've been living with this for a year. You've had this condition 10, 15 years. You've tried all kinds of different modalities. Serious challenges he's looking for, right? So this past week, the man with the neck, shoulder, the lady, both of them, right? How many years? 23 years for one, 15 for... 30 for the other. Okay. Do you think they tried a few different modalities? Yeah. Just a few. Just a few. So he invites them up. He listens to them. He listens to them. Heaven listens to them. Because Master Sha is constantly in using soul communication. He doesn't really ever step out of soul communication. So even though they're just talking about, it's not a deep, profound, you know, spiritual experience, they're talking about their pain. They feel deeply heard. This is why soul communication is so important for us. How do they know that they're heard? Because when we speak, we allow heaven to speak through us. We allow their soul to speak through us. And those words touch them deeply. Have you not seen this at Master Sha's events? The lady that received, for instance, she was the demo for the last day. She was a demo for soul enlightenment. She was so deeply, deeply touched that it took her out of her mind, and really all you heard was her heart speaking. No more of the logic, just the purity of the heart speaking. She's a different person. When people feel that they have truly been heard, they want more. They want to continue to receive that kind of not only love, but that kind of wisdom, those kinds of blessings, those kinds of healings. So go ahead and post on live stream. Can you see if there's any questions on live stream? So go ahead and post and let me know if you have any questions about this, okay? Before I go on. Because I also want to talk about what does it look like when we don't do this? Because my mind has been very, very, very active my whole life. I know that I have made many, many mistakes, and so I'm going to share those with you. And then I want to share with you what this looks like, yeah? Because the difference in what I'm experiencing now with clients is night and day. Night and day. And it does not matter what treasures you have, what modality you practice, everyone can do this. Master Sha has empowered all of us. There's some things that people who have become certified soul communicators can do that other people cannot do. But everyone can open their soul communication channels, and I want to talk about this. I want to give you a little bit of guidance, and then I want to give you homework. Because I want you to come back tomorrow, and I want you to share with me what happened when you did this homework. We'll be live again tomorrow. We're going to join Master Sha. You know, he's going to be doing 2 powerful programs tomorrow. So we'll join Master Sha for his program, and then we'll jump right in to the workshop. And I want you to share, after you do the homework, what did you experience? Because the people that I've worked with in Vancouver and in other places in Hawaii, those that did the homework every night, they experienced transformation. They were astonished by what happened for them. I'm going to share a story with you in a minute. Okay, any questions on live stream? And Master Marilyn, are you on Facebook for me? I think it's better if you're on Facebook rather than me trying to read the Facebook at the same time. Are you on where?
On my own Facebook page.
You're on your own?
I can help you.
Oh, you are. Thank you, Master Marilyn. Okay, let's see. We just need to see if there's...
So what do you want me to do?
I just wanted to see if people had questions about what I just shared. And...
Linda Lova has a long post.
Okay.
Post on live stream.
Yeah, okay, go ahead and read it.
She says, I used soul communication before I met with her client recently, and message was to let him know that he is loved beyond words. Yet at the end of our meeting, I felt I did not deliver, but I don't know what I could have done differently. He talked, and I kept trying to convey how much Master Sha's healing will solve his situation, but he did not decide to join. Mm-hmm. He has a blockage with paying for services, and I could not overcome that blockage. Mm-hmm. She says her other problem is how to engage people the first time in the grocery store or post office. Folks don't share their pain there. How to begin that conversation for the first time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Good. Good questions. Good. Good. She gave me lots of good things to work with. Yeah.
So on Facebook, there's several comments, but no questions.
Okay. How about here? You have a question? You have lots. Are you willing to share them? Not right now. Okay. Yeah.
I will give you a
I don't know where to start at. So.
You don't know where to start. Where to start?
With my questions, there's so many.
It doesn't matter. You just start anywhere, because heaven will guide us to exactly where we need to start. I trust heaven. I trust Master Sha. I trust that this is the right process. Any question, you start anywhere. When you're ready, I'm here.
I have a short story about a woman I met in Safeway.
Okay.
And I guess this was back, I think around Easter time, because we were last Easter, and we happened to be admiring the Easter hams in the display case, and struck up a conversation. And then she began pouring out her heart to me about her daughter. And I ended up giving her a iBook and showed her how to use the calligraphy and the teaching. And we had probably a 15-minute conversation right there in the Safeway store. She's a wonderful lady. She thanked me. She says that she got a message that she should go to Safeway today, or that day. And also, at the end, she said, you know, you must be an angel because you just appeared and gave me this book. And, you know, I said goodbye to her. I turned around, and she somehow disappeared. So she... So it was more than just one of us disappearing or reappearing.
Exactly. Who was the angel there?
Right. So she gave me this opportunity to serve.
Okay.
So it can happen anywhere.
It can. And this is the point of, this is the reason why we're doing this workshop now, is because at this time of the year, lots of people, you're going to be meeting people. People, you know, they're like, oh, Merry Christmas, whatever. They're trying to connect. They're making an effort to connect because it's the holiday season. Part of it is that people do want to get into the holiday spirit. Mm-hmm. But part of it is also that people have pain. Everyone's carrying pain. Everyone has physical pain or emotional pain or mental pain, spiritual pain, relationship pain, financial pain. Something in their lives is painful. And they're looking for a way to transform that. They may not be looking in the right places, but they're looking. When people connect with you and with me, there is a possibility for us to help them to connect with something that can transform that pain. Not a Band-Aid, but something that is truly transformational. But the key is not to sell. So let me show you what selling looks like. So you have the picture of heaven. Wasn't this a nice picture of heaven? Yeah? We could put little Buddhas there, but lots of times what selling looks like those are words, those are sentences. There's lots and lots and lots of sentences. It sounds like this big bullhorn coming at me. Selling takes place in the mind. Selling is problem solution based. So, you have knee pain. Okay, I have the perfect book for you. And then I go and I tell you all the reasons. And then you just trace, and then you do this, and then you do that. And then the person says, thank you, but no thank you. Have you experienced that? And I just happen to have an extra book in my bag. So let me give it to you now. And let me show you how to trace it. And you can just put it here, and you can put it here, and you can put it here. Any of you experienced that? Have any of you done it? I've done it. I've done it. They don't get to say a word because we're busy selling our solution.
What I'm reminded of are very gung-ho, enthusiastic Christians who would like to turn everyone on to Christianity, and people who are not raised in Christian tradition are very aware of that, and it's kind of an ongoing problem. Or
okay. Yeah. So we've all experienced it. And we've all done it. Yes, Master Marilyn, we've all done it. I've done it. Because I cannot tell you how many books I have given to people. And, of course, they did not call me back. There was no personal consultation. It did not lead to personal consultations. It did not lead to lasting relationship. There is no relationship. They ran as fast as they could. Yes.
Master Jimena, could you more or less say in a subconscious manner that you did a hard sell without consciously recognizing what you were doing?
Yeah. So what Joseph said is it possible that you could, not even consciously, you're doing a hard sell without even knowing that you're doing it? And the answer is yes. Yes. The beauty is that we grow. Master Sha, through the blessings, through the teachings, through the treasures, helps us to open our heart and helps to make us more aware. Helps us to really understand that the key is not to tell the person in the loudest voice possible what they need. Right? Is the heart going to open? Is the heart going to open to hear? Here's this book, and is the heart opening or is the heart closing? When in this scenario, is the heart opening or is the heart closing? The heart is closing. Yeah, people are closing. And now the mind is going, get me out of this situation as fast as I can. So the mind gets really hyperactive. And it's looking for a way out. Completely different than this. Here, they want more. The heart is opening. Yeah, go ahead.
One of the lessons I learned from this experience with a woman at Safeway is that I stood there and listened to her for about 15 minutes while she was telling me all her problems. And, I was kind of giving her my inspirations that came through me while she was speaking. And that opened her up, and but basically listening.
Yeah, so exactly. So soul communications actually, thank you God for this. So soul communication is listening and speaking with and from the heart. When we do this, when we are able to allow heaven to, when we open our heart and we allow heaven to speak to them, heaven will choose exactly the words that they need to hear so that they ask, what else can I do? They express gratitude. The lady expressed deep gratitude to you, correct? When she said to you, you must be an angel, right? That's deep gratitude. I didn't hear it as sarcasm. I heard, right? You heard it as deep gratitude. That's coming from the heart. That means her heart open. You helped her to open her heart. When you say, I was inspired, already you are in the Direct Soul Communicator program. The soul, your soul communication abilities are activated. Sometimes we think all the times that it needs to be, oh, let me turn on my treasures, but the channel is open. Yeah, your channel is open. So the channel just opened and allowed heaven to listen. So this is two-way conversation, right? They're speaking, the message is going up, then heaven's message is coming down. You're just the channel. How much can come through this channel depends on you and your 10 das. How open is your heart? That's why opening our heart is so important. The more we open our heart, the more powerful the message can be, the higher the frequency of that message. Yeah, go ahead.
You just hit upon a very, very important point too, and that is our own vibration, our establishing a resonance with someone. The higher people tend to gravitate towards something of a higher vibrational field. And so, the last retreat with Master Sha was all about fields, Shen Qi Jing fields. And so it's establishing a Shen Qi Jing field that people will be attracted to, will resonate with, that will be able to establish a resonance on a heart-to-heart basis with.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that happens. That will naturally happen. That will naturally happen if our heart is open and if we are allowing this conversation to occur. This is one of the most unique aspects of what Master Sha has brought to humanity, is soul communication. You do not have to be in the Tao Source Communicator program to be able to do soul communication. You get the books, you practice, and you can ask, what is the message, of this challenge? You can just ask heaven, what does this person need to hear? I think that's what you did. You just didn't do it consciously, which is great, because then the mind did not get activated, so you didn't problem solve for her. Instead, you allowed heaven to give her the messages she needed. Opened her heart, you gave her hope. This is another thing that happens when we are able to facilitate this connection between heaven and the person, is they feel hope. Hope that they haven't had in a long time. So Linda, I want to speak to Linda's question, right? To Linda's comment, and also Sarah Bronner. Ask yourselves, were you the facilitator? Were you simply the vehicle? Not facilitator, it's not Master Sha's language. But were you the vehicle for heaven to speak to them? Was it soul communication that you were using to connect heart to heart, soul to soul with them? Because Sarah shared a very similar experience. People say they're going to come to my events and they don't come. I call them, I text them, and they don't even respond. Is that a description of this process, or is that a description of something coming from your mind? I cannot answer. Everyone has to check for themselves. Were you trying to give them the solution, or were you allowing heaven to share the message? Do you hear the difference?
Yes.
You hear the difference, yeah? Yeah, one says, I have the answer, this is the answer for you.
What I hear is that the successful
Here.
what I'm hearing is that the healer, practitioner, let's say, is bypassing mind, totally bypassing mind, ego, yeah, and just bringing through messages, appropriate messages from soul, from heaven to the person.
Exactly. That's it. It's that easy. That's it. That's the whole seminar. That's exactly it. So we can, we can plan for the perfect, the perfect elevator pitch. We can plan for the perfect presentation. And we do need to do planning. We do need to make sure that we write out, so that we don't say the wrong words, inadvertently say something that may actually not be the right thing. But the more you do soul communication, and the more you train yourself to you train yourself, only use, words that are going to help this person to be happier and healthier, right? Because everybody has words that are going to be hot buttons. So you can train yourself. That soul communication can become very powerful. How you prepare will simply make that combination of physical world preparation and soul world is very, very powerful. It's never one or the other. One is yang and one is yin. Years and years ago, I had a family challenge. And I asked Master Sha, I was his marketing director for 12 years. I asked Master Sha, what do I do? Do I hire, this professional? Should I hire a professional? Should I just, And he said to me, it's never going to be one thing. It's always a combination. How much yin, how much yang depends on the situation. There's no set formula. That's why, when he teaches, he always says it's relative balance, and that relative balance of yin and yang changes. So you can't just rely on soul communication, and you can't just rely on the physical world. You need the combination. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah? I talked to a master teacher who told me a situation where somebody had called and said to her, this is happening. There's a lot of anxiety around what was happening. Emotions were high. The master teacher gave a prescription. I don't know, not the right word. Gave a not a plan, but it was more of a, this is what you need to do type of a thing. Really the best word is gave them a solution, right? And said, you need to do, this, receive these Tao treasures, yeah? Receive these Tao treasures, do these practices. And when the person, the first time the person tried to deflect the conversation, so the master teacher came back at it again. And finally the person said, I'll leave, basically said goodbye and said, basically, I'll leave you to your own philosophies. So I spoke with the master teacher, and it took a while for the master teacher to understand why that approach does not work. The reason this solution problem solution doesn't work is because you are guessing at what is the problem. What someone is saying may not be the root problem, because people don't want to expose their pain. They do not want to have their hearts hurt, their feelings hurt. They don't want to be ridiculed. They don't want their emotions ignored. It's painful, huh, when you talk about what's going on in your heart and people ignore you. You're vulnerable, and people just ignore you. So rather than listening, what you did was you listened to her. That's why I say to you, your spiritual channels were open. Because you were in that program, the channel is just open now. You actually don't even have to turn on the treasures, do the invoke. You know, it's already open. You can see this is a very good example of that. So the mind didn't go into, oh, okay, that's the problem. Let me give you the solution. Do this practice. Get this jin done. Go to this workshop. Go to this retreat. That's a solution. Instead, you listened until the lady really revealed what was her true pain. Because pain, like everything else, comes in layers. And what people want to know is how deep can they go with their pain? How much of their pain can they reveal to you? How much of their pain can you hear and not run away? Because then they know that they have a safety net. So for master teachers, this is a critical skill. To be able to really hear the pain that someone is in. If someone feels heard, then they're willing to try what we're offering, try the Tao hands, try the Tao treasures, try the Tao Chang. We're in this beautiful Tao Chang here in San Francisco. And if they experience results, then they're going to be willing to go deeper and deeper. Comments? Questions?
No real comments, but I was thinking of Datsude, compassion, listening with compassion.
Listening, well, this is the heart, right? Listening with the heart. It's compassion. But compassion is action. Compassion is empowerment. That's why compassion boosts energy, stamina, vitality, and immunity. Compassion is all about empowerment. It's not about charity. It's about empowering people to take action and transform their own lives. It's very loving. This is what Master Sha has done for us. Is he not compassionate? He empowers us to not only serve ourselves, but to serve others. Yeah.
So on Facebook, Catherine
Yeah.
Wyba says, we have to be careful not to play God. And Melissa Corwin says, your wisdom and teachings are so deep and profound. Thanks not only to Master Sha, but your own journey, Master Jimena. Much love and gratitude. Aloha, all soul family.
Mm-hmm. So when we serve as the vehicle, when we are in this mode of just being the channel, there's no possibility that we're going to err on the side of having all the answers. Because all we are is the channel. It's all we're doing is being the channel, the connector between heaven, the soul world, and this human being who's in pain. If we step into this role, as soon as someone says, I have back pain, and you go, oh, you know, Master Jimena, she had back pain. She had this terrible, you know, it's this. Just think of this picture, blah, 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 blah. And the person after a while cannot hear it. When what we need to do is allow them to reveal their problem. Listen with the heart. They can tell if we're listening with the heart. They can tell if our mind is, they can tell if it's our heart that's listening or if it's the mind that's listening. Like, what do you feel now? Do you feel that the heart is listening, or do you feel that the mind is listening?
Heart primarily, mind secondarily.
The heart is listening. Yeah. The heart is listening. I have to keep myself on track. So every once in a while, I have to make sure that I'm covering everything that I need to cover tonight. We are trained in school to be thinkers, to solve a problem. What, in developing a relationship with a client, we cannot solve their life's problems. What we can do is we can empower them with teachings, with wisdom. We can empower them with blessings, treasures. We can empower them to serve, to take action. All the things that Master Sha does. All the things that he has modeled for us. But he also says, it's up to you, right? The teacher can bring you to the door. He bring you to the gate, sorry. Teacher can bring the student to the gate, but then you have to walk through. Meaning, you have to take the action. So the Western model of problem solution creates in people the expectations that I had when I met Master Sha, which is, I come to you, you are the expert. You are going to heal me. And when you don't heal me, I get mad. What kind of healer are you? And so people get angry. This doesn't work, whatever. So it's important for us to recognize that that model is in people's heads. And that's not the model that we are sharing. 50% of the work we do through the blessings, through the service that we offer. Doesn't matter if you're a massage therapist, if you're a Reiki practitioner, if you're a counselor. 50% of the work we do, 50% of the work has to be done by the client. This is a collaborative modality. This is different than when I used to have when I drove in San Francisco. I had a Jetta, and boy, I would drive that car really hard. I was a fast driver, and something happened with the car, transmission, the brakes, whatever. What did I do? Took it in. They fixed it. Next day, I was, back taking the hills, up and down the hills in San Francisco, right? That's not what this is. This is not that model. This model requires we do practice. Our transformation is our responsibility. Your client's transformation is their responsibility. We can empower them, but we cannot be responsible. We cannot be 100% responsible. So if we have expectations in our minds that we are going to be creating transforming people's lives left and right, and that might be something that we need to look at. Our own expectations of what is going to happen, we need to look at. So if we have expectations that every single person that we speak with is going to connect with us or is going to connect with Tao healing, we probably need to look at that. Because there's maybe an attachment there, there may be an expectation there that is going to take over and is going to block the purity of this connection. Is going to prevent the purest messages, the most powerful messages from coming through. Likewise, if they have a model of, I just want you to heal me. So that's also going to block the message. That's why our frequency and vibration has to be high enough that it can actually help clear that blockage while you are face to face with the client. Not through discussion, not through logic, but through love, through forgiveness, through compassion. Okay? More questions, more examples? Yes? You have some?
Give me a moment to get to
Okay,
it.
good. You know what? I wonder, I need some water. I left my... Get some water. Thank you, Master Merrill.
There's no comment on Facebook here.
Okay.
Phyllis Casper writes, yes, I was working on a PTSD related to a near drowning experience when my client was 8. You would think it was the being underwater and struggling. The real trauma was when she got out, was crying and trying to tell her mother and being shooed away. Let's see, it says here, see more. Okay. With hypnosis, we found that a cousin who drowned in the same lake and her deceased father took her hands underwater and pulled her in the right direction. Then she knew that she had not been alone.
Mm-hmm. The way that, that's very, very powerful. You know, hypnosis is very, very powerful. I actually tried hypnosis. I tried it twice. But I quickly realized it was not for me. I've tried so many things. I tried so many things before I met Master Sha. So thank you. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you, Master Marilyn. It was made with love. Yeah. So very powerful. Hypnosis is, no doubt, is very, very powerful because it can connect you with past lives. You know the beauty of adding something like the soul communication and the Tao healing is that series of events that you talked about. So the 8-year-old girl, then there's another cousin. Right. So you can see that there's some kind of ancestral pattern there. Yeah. That's a message. That's a message that is being carried. That is carried by. That's a message that's carried from one lifetime to another lifetime. That message of drowning is being carried lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. What the beauty of, and I'll explain this tomorrow more because we'll be on a webcast, and so I can go into more detail. What we're doing, for instance, with Tao hands, is we are bringing, can you see this? On Facebook? If not tomorrow, I move this thing right in the middle.
I have to wait until 30 seconds go by.
Oh, okay. So there's a delay.
I'm sure you can because red shows up well.
Okay. So when we're offering, yeah, good. So when we offer someone, for instance, the Tao treasures, the golden light balls, where we offer someone the Tao hands, what is coming is source, Shen, Qi, Jing, to replace our message that may be negative. So a message of drowning is a negative is a negative message that is being carried one life to the next lifetime to the next lifetime. If you have a message like I have messages, right, of back pain that's been carried lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. So blessings that I have received from Master Sha, what do? They change that message of back pain to a message of source love, forgiveness, compassion, and light. And over time, the more source love, forgiveness, compassion, and light I receive, the more of that negative message goes away. And it's possible that over time you can clear the message, but it takes practice on my part, and it's a combination of receiving blessings, many different ways to receive blessings. How many people, almost everybody here is a Tao Hands practitioner. Almost every person that's on the Facebook and live stream is a Tao Hands practitioner. When you're offering Tao Hands, you are offering people a blessing of source, Shen, Qi, and Jing. You cannot say, all I can do is Tao Hands. All I can do is Tao Hands is you're giving people a blessing of source, Shen, Qi, Jing to replace whatever negative messages they may have about their physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual body, or their relationships, or their finances, or their house, or their business, their pets, their cars. You know, people have careers. Their careers, almost everyone experiences some kind of a career challenge, right? So you're transforming that message with a message of pure love, forgiveness, compassion, and light. This is very powerful, so that those negative blockages that occur at the soul level, at the heart level, at the mind level, at the energy level, and at the matter level, we can continue to clear them and clear them. And the more we clear them, the more our heart opens and stays open. Because what happens for us as we get older, so many things have happened, our heart closes and closes and closes and closes, right? What did Dr. Cheryl, one of the things she said, you know, some of you saw the interview with Dr. Cheryl. She was at the retreats with Master Sha, not all of them, but most of them. And one of the things she mentioned was how open everyone's heart was at the retreats. It didn't matter how old you were, didn't matter how long you had been a student or a teacher. What was consistent with every person she spoke with was how open the hearts were. Because in general, as we experience life, we experience more hurt, so we protect ourselves, we close our heart. The way we can become better servants is we have to keep our hearts open, despite whatever life challenges we have. The more our heart is open, the more of the love, the messages of love can come in to your clients. And when they feel that, they can and will want more. Okay, so I'm looking for more examples of challenges because I want to help you. I want to help you transform your challenges. I want to help you to see things differently. So when you meet somebody, are you immediately going to go, which mode are you going to go into? Are you going to go into problem solution? Let me tell you the 1,000 reasons why you should receive Dao hands. Or are you going to try, remember, open your heart, go into heaven, and go into soul communication, so you serve as the connection between heaven and this human being who's in pain. So it should not matter who you meet or where you meet them. Because I think that was the question, right? That a couple of people said is, how do I connect with someone who's new? If you do chit chat, is chit chat this? No, but chit chat could lead to this very easily. I bet you started that way, right? You said you're talking about the hams. Exactly, that's
It's a display case. Yeah.
display case. But it led to a very profound conversation that connected that lady with the message from heaven.
Yeah, and the way it evolved was through her the issues she was having with her daughter, and all the problems she was having with her daughter, and of course that's very close to her heart. So I could sympathize with her. I could understand what the problems were, and the discussion started out that way, with a discussion about the experiences that she's had with her daughter. That was the chit-chat part initially.
That was
exactly.
That was the initial connection. When people come to us, it's not an accident. It's not. They are meant to come to us. So at the soul level, they already know that there is a connection between you. This is why many times when people first become Dao hands practitioners or they become Dao calligraphy practitioners, suddenly it looks like people are coming out of the woodwork. I remember Roger Givens, he used to say that when he traveled, they had a motorhome. When they traveled, by the time he got out and he was hooking up for the utilities, already there were several people standing around, saying hello. But it did not take very long for them to start sharing what were the challenges that they were experiencing, physical, relationships, financial, yeah? Because at the soul level, they know. They know who can help them and who cannot help them. Does that resonate with any of you? Do you remember receiving your Dao hands and suddenly having people come to you? Our minds probably didn't understand and may have created barriers. But at the soul level, the people coming to us knew that you had the ability to help them. Any more posts?
There's one here from Linda Loba. She says, I tend not to chit-chat. I usually am in and out of where we want to go to because I am normally task-oriented. It's like I don't even see or recognize those that are in pain. Mm-hmm. She says, this is what I need help with.
Right. So, Linda, the practice for you would be to slow down, to really practice with one person. So you cannot go from being task-oriented. She was a nurse, I think. Linda was a nurse. She was a teacher, a school teacher. So very active, very intellectually gifted. So now what I would say is really take one interaction per day and really make it Make it an opportunity for you to practice using your soul communication. This way, when you have, when you see the power of the soul communication, you will look for more opportunities. So it's not something that happens at the mind level, but it's something that comes from your heart, because you'll see the impact that you have. Yeah. Okay, so let me know if that helps you. I want to do a flow for everybody. How can you use this during the holidays? How can you use this model during the holidays, okay? So I'm going to have to bring my chair over because that little Zoom camera is quite... oh, I got it, Mr. Merlin. I don't want to be like a teeny tiny little ant on the screen. Then the heart connection, it's very hard to make a connection with this teeny tiny person so far away in the back somewhere. Okay, so let me see how this works here. Oops, it's upside down. Okay, so you can see, I can see.
The only problem is just that calligraphies are going to show.
No problem.
The Dao Chang calligraphies are showing? I don't see them.
That's, yeah, that's, but that's, you're getting the shoulders upshot because I can't. If I lower the picture, you'll see the calligraphies.
Yeah, this is okay. Oh, goodness. Okay. All right, so let's do a flow. So close your eyes, everyone, close your eyes. And one day we will not be constrained by AV. You know, it's so interesting to me. It's so interesting how it does not matter where you go. AV has, we have AV issues. Okay. All right. So feet flat on the ground. That's what I wanted to do. Put my feet flat on the ground. Back straight. And neck straight. Hands in front of your lower abdomen. Where we put our hands is where the energy goes. Our zhong, our lower abdomen, is our core. And we cannot, it's not possible to have too much energy in our energy centers. Bring the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Just gently touch the hard palate behind the teeth, and saliva starts to flow almost automatically. Make sure, if you can, take your back away from the back of the chair. Visualize golden light. Golden light in the lower abdomen. You know, 1 power is extraordinary. 2 powers, the benefits are exponential. So visualize light either in the whole lower abdomen. If you're in the advanced trainings, you know exactly where you need to put your mind. This is mind power, creative visualization. Golden light is the first frequency of healing. Sound power is the use of sound, sacred sounds, And soul communication is sacred sound. It's heaven speaking. So it has heaven's frequency and vibration. So you will be receiving this message. So this is the best way to receive it. I'm going to say hello. I'm going to connect with heaven and ask heaven to give us a message about why heart to heart, soul to soul, the workshop, how this workshop can benefit you this holiday season, how it can help you so that 2019 you are able to serve in the way that your heart has been yearning to serve, not only in this lifetime, but for hundreds of lifetimes. So close your eyes and receive the message. Receive heaven's message. How? This is the divine. I am beyond happy, and heaven is celebrating with great joy to see how many are now ready to begin the journey of service, the journey of healing, not of self, but of others, the journey of empowerment, the journey of helping others' hopes and dreams begin to manifest. To have so many eager and ready brings great joy. For the world is in need of this level of service. Each of you has been prepared. You have received profound wisdom, extraordinary training. You have been gifted with great abilities. You are more than ready to serve. It is important to quickly prepare to serve those that come to you, many are feeling anxious, concerned, worried, stressed. They are searching for new solutions, new possibilities, new approaches to situations, issues, and challenges. They feel a sense of urgency. And so they are ready to be heard in a new way, ready to be served in a new way, ready to be part of this movement of the love field that your beloved teacher has created. This weekend will help you to align with your teacher's guidance, to go out to serve at a higher level. Your heavens team and all of heaven is ready to give to each of you the wisdom, the knowledge, the insights, the practical steps to take to create lasting client relationships. There is an adjustment a transformation that must occur in the heart for each of you to feel the sense of urgency, not just in heaven, but from all of humanity. Heaven's hair is burning. Humanity's heart is burning. Align with the teachings. Align with the techniques. Align with the wisdom. Put it into action. Do not wait for the right moment, for the right week, for the right, fill in the blank. Your teacher has touched your hearts. He has touched the hearts of all souls in all universes. He has opened the door. Humanity is ready to hear you. Now is the time for you to step forward. To open your heart. To allow them to hear the wisdom. To allow them to receive the blessings. to allow them to experience the transformation so that their lives can be happier and healthier. Now is the time to say thank you and to serve as your beloved teacher has served for so many years. How? Thank you, thank you, thank you. So Master Sha, with the love field, has touched every soul, all souls, all universes. So right now is really the perfect timing for everyone to begin taking steps. Don't wait. There is no perfect moment. There is no perfect time. We block ourselves waiting for the perfect time. Now is the time. So I want to help you and give you homework. You want to connect with somebody that that is not a student of Master Sha. They maybe know about Master Sha, but they are not a student of Master Sha. And you want to connect with them, to reach out to them. It's a different way to say it. This is not about, I want to do a practice, I'm taking a training, will you be one of my cases? No. Don't do that. That's not today. Okay. I can only sit for so long. Yeah. So, what you're going to do is you're going to reach out to somebody and practice. Practice listening using soul communication. Practice speaking using soul communication. So what does this look like if you're not a Tao Source communicator? It's very simple. You just ask heaven to borrow your mouth and allow their words of love, of compassion, of light to come through. Trust the message. Any thought of this isn't the right message, this isn't the right solution, this isn't the right whatever, this is your mind. Recognize that and come back into this model. Come back into this role of simply being the vehicle that connects heaven to this human being and this human being to heaven. Because the moment you start having thoughts of this isn't the right, then what's happening? Now the mind is engaging in problem solving. As soon as the mind engages, now it's going to want to solve the other person's problems. Don't do that. Practice this. See what happens. When people have done this in other workshops, this person says, this was amazing. We should connect more often. And they may say, I have an issue. They may say, I have a challenge. You use your soul communication. Maybe this is the right time to say, I would be honored to offer you a message from heaven. Why are you having that challenge? I may be, or If you're open to it, I would be honored to offer you a Tao Hands blessing. This is a completely new modality. You don't have to explain. You know, I saw Suzanne's post. And so, Suzanne, it's okay that they try and put it in energy terms. The key is not, do they get the concept? The key is, are they open to having a powerful, personal experience of transformation? Because that's the only thing that will open someone's heart. Talking is not going to do it. It's having that personal experience of transformation that is going to bring them back to you. That's going to bring them back, and they are going to then bring more people. Who doesn't want that? That's what Master Shunya was saying. He started by saying, I'm excited about this because I want more people to be served by this beautiful and powerful Tao Chang here in San Francisco. I want more people's lives. His heart yearns to see all the people in San Francisco who are suffering. He yearns to see them come in here and experience what's present here. We can run ads. But everybody dismisses ads as just advertising. But they trust their friends. So when a friend recommends, this is golden. People recommend when their lives have been transformed. When they have had transformations. It may not be, that the back pain was gone, but their life has transformed in a way that they never expected. Did I expect 18 years into my studies with Master Sha to suddenly go through a healing crisis? Not really. I really was hoping I was past that, but it's okay, because I know I've been completely transformed by this last year. I'm not the same person I was a year and a half ago. Can't be. You cannot go through something like this and be exactly who you were before. Can't be. I've learned so much about healing. So, you practice, just reach out to somebody. Connect with somebody using this model of connecting, listening with the heart, speaking with the heart. How do we do that? With soul communication. See what they say to you. See what they share. And then come back and report. Because we will be live on Facebook again tomorrow. So this weekend, I just wanted to focus on this today. This was Heaven's guidance of what to do tonight. But I will take you through, where does our power come from? Because many people, when I say that your Tao hands and the Tao hands has Source Shen Qi Jing, you hear me here, but I want you to hear it here. Because when you hear it in your heart, you cannot deny that what you have is anything less than extraordinary. It's extraordinary. It's absolutely extraordinary. So I will explain why you have the power that you have as a Tao Hands practitioner. And I will go through and explain in more detail some of the steps, including, you meet somebody, we talked about how do you connect with them. But there is a process. There is a process for offering to them, connecting them really to the right service and the right events and the right practices, really, not events, but practices. And then there is the question of honor fees. And so many people have such a blockage with this. Yeah. So I have a blockage, but my blockage is not as big as somebody else's. So I'm somewhere in the middle. I am aware of some people who have really very, very almost no blockages when it comes to honor fees. So I'm somewhere in the middle. I want to help you to at least get to where I am. And if I can help you go beyond me, that's even better, you know? So we also need to talk about honor fees. What are honor fees? Why is it important that we talk with people about honor fees? And then follow-up. And follow-up, I have heard Master Sha talk about follow-up for years. And you know, this last year, I have experienced what he experienced, which is the pain of not being able to put in place a follow-up system that really and truly serves everyone that comes, you know, to the center. It is so painful to be able to see it here, but not be able to take it from, not be able to go from here, from the soul and heart level, down to here. I have heard Master Sha for 18 years talk about his frustration. Now I've lived it. What goes around comes around. I was his business manager. I was his marketing director. I was responsible for follow-up. I did not deliver when I was in those positions. Now I've experienced in 1 year what he experienced in 18 years. So I am determined. I will make it my personal task to help everybody understand the significance of follow-up. If you do follow-up well, you know, a woman said to me today, I said to her, I did a consultation, and I said to her, I will connect with you in 2 days. I will connect with you within 48 hours. I will connect with you in 3 days after that, so next Wednesday. And then I will connect with you again a week from that, the following Wednesday. She said to me, if you are that confident, then this must really work. Because if you are not confident, you would not follow up with me. My response was, I want to make sure that you have the powerful personal experience of transformation. I didn't use those words, but she had specific things she wanted to transform. So I said to her, I want to make sure that this transforms and this transforms for you. And I know the best results occur when I follow up with you. And she said to me, what will this cost? I said, it's already, you've honored for the personal consultation. I will follow up. I will not call you. I will text you. So I will text you. I just want to ask you I'll just ask you 1 or 2 questions, and that will tell me what further guidance you need. If I need to call you after that, we'll set up a time. But for most people, I don't need to set up a time. I can just give you guidance. Then I will follow up again in 3 days to see how that guidance is supporting you. She said, I cannot believe this is happening. I said, believe it. It's true. It is happening. And so know that I will, I'll be there every step of the way until you experience the transformation that you want. So follow-up is critical. We need a different word for this because follow-up we've created so much karma around it that it blocks us. So it blocks us here in this part, moving into action, getting past here. Because like myself, Master Sha was talking follow-up, I was like a deer in the headlights. So when people look at me like deer in the headlights, I know that look. I've been there. But it's painful. So I want to share with you, there's a whole different way to look at follow-up that you'll see how important this is. And Master Sha has known this. This is why he's been talking about it. It pains him so much that we don't understand this. So those of you that join me, I will make sure you really understand this. If you do this well, clients transform, they come back. Because if you can transform one issue, you can transform another issue. If you can transform my issue, maybe you can help me with my son. Maybe you can help my husband. Maybe you can help my mother. You know, there's a lady in one of our Tao Hands practitioners. Hadn't come to the center for a long time. When we were doing the Tao Hands, you know, the last, I think it was in July, there was this, or August, right? The last global opportunity for people to uplift their divine healing hands. I told the team in Vancouver, you have to call people, you know, it doesn't matter. This is so important. If people can receive this, those people who haven't come to the center, their soul will wake up. And that's exactly what's happened. How many of you saw, well, forget that. So, I was going to say something. So, people, when they receive that, what happened? They've come back. They've come back to rejoin the healers. They've come back to rejoin the studies. They've come back to now be active in the community. Why? Follow-up. Follow-up, and the right way to do the follow-up. Now, they're also bringing people to the center. Yeah. So it's very powerful. Their souls' journeys have been changed. Yeah. And we can do the same. So this weekend we'll cover meeting people. Already I've talked to you about it today. We'll talk about honor fees, follow-up. There's 4 things. What are the? I was in flow, so I lost them. So join us tomorrow. We will be covering a lot. We will be on for the first hour. So please join us and share. You still have plenty of time. If you're on the East Coast, you have tomorrow morning. If you're on the West Coast, you have tonight and part of tomorrow morning. If you're in Hawaii and Sydney, you've got a lot of time to connect with people and try this. I think you will be surprised because people, when they do this, people can be very, very touched. I love you all. I invite you to join me for this weekend. It's a powerful way for you to prepare for what's going to be an amazing 2019. Love you, love you, love you. Master Shunya, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Really, really love you, Master Jimena. Really, really love you, Master Jimena. Really, really love you, Master Jimena. Really love you, Master Jimena. Really love you, Master Jimena. Really, really love you, everyone. Really, really love you, everyone. Really, really love you, everyone. Really love you, everyone. Really love you, everyone. So join us this weekend, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. You can register by going to drsha.com. Look under events, and then look under San Francisco, and you'll find all of the information and the links to register. Tomorrow we go from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific time. By the way, it's all on live stream, so you can watch it in your timing. If you have to miss part of that, you can go back and catch it up, so no worries. And in fact, some people can't do the whole weekend, so they sign up and then they watch it after the weekend's over if they have to. So it's best if you can do it live with us, but if you can't, no worries. You'll still get the same teachings. And then at 8 o'clock tomorrow when we finish, we're going to have a Tao song, Tao dance meditation from 8 to 9. Everyone who registers for the workshop will be registered for the Tao song, Tao dance meditation as a gift. And so we invite you to join us for the weekend. It's going to be transformational. And yes, after that, 9 o'clock till whenever, we will be having at the center here in San Francisco a little bit of holiday cheer. Bring your favorite dish, and we'll just have a good time, heart to heart, soul to soul. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gong song, gong song, gong song. Bye-bye, everybody.